What amazes me about my father is the number of people that have passed through his life that he's been able to impact. People in the thousands.
He has instilled in all of his students and those of us who've known him for years after high school to be good Catholics, good people, good public servants, and to just give back.
Ed has dedicated himself in his life to the development and nurturing and protection of young people.
I was born in Burbank, California. My parents in many ways had immigrated to California from the Dust Bowl of eastern Colorado and Kansas several years before. I am the third of 4 boys. My parents were very, very religious, very Catholic in the very traditional sense. Their religious faith and their dedication to their family certainly formed me and my brothers as we grew up. Went to parochial schools and a parochial high school. And as was the custom then, 2 days after high school graduation, left for Indiana to join the Brothers of Holy Cross and was with the brothers then for 16 years. Almost nobody in my family had been to college. My parents were not high school graduates. So the challenge of earning a baccalaureate degree from St. Edward's University was considerable. You got your degree in 3 years and then went off to teach. And thus at age 21, almost 22, was assigned to Miami, Archbishop Curley High School, boys' school, as a social studies and English teacher.
Brother Ed at the time was a young, feisty dean of students, and he also happened to coach the cross-country team and was probably the best known and most respected, or maybe should I say feared, member of the faculty because he was friendly, but he was also very strict.
After 8 years, I was transferred to Wichita Falls, Texas. Shortly after that, I became principal at Notre Dame High School in Wichita Falls. After 5 years, left the brothers, and then a year later, met Barbara.
We met in Wichita Falls. Ed was head of the Catholic high school. I worked at the Catholic hospital as an RN.
We were married at Sacred Heart Church in Wichita Falls, and then we promptly left town for St. Petersburg, Florida. I was to be principal at St. Petersburg Catholic. We were in St. Petersburg 3 years. Finally, we did come back, ended up in Amarillo, Texas, at Alamo Catholic High School there, and I was superintendent of the schools for the diocese. We were there 2 years, and then came to Dallas and to Bishop Lynch.
Growing up, he always was very busy with school, with meetings, stuff like that, but he always made time for us. I think he always set an example of, what it was like to be a good man.
He has been a living example of what it means to have a work ethic and really take ownership of your job. He's instilled that work ethic in my brothers and I. We all use it for our own successes.
He once told me that in his entire career that he's only had a few days that he did not want to go to work. I think that's pretty remarkable.
The reason that our kids are at Bishop Lynch is because we want them to excel in academics, to have a chance to participate in athletics, and their continued faith development. There couldn't be a better leader than Ed.
He's really nice. He's awesome. He's friendly. You can really go to him if you need help with anything.
He's really involved with the campus and the student life here. He's always going up to students, asking them, how's your day? He knows everybody here by name. He's really caring. He's always making sure that students are on the right track.
I like Mr. Leyden.
Over the last few years, he's served not only as president of Bishop Lynch High School, but he's led by example by becoming a deacon and putting his faith out there for all to see.
I was ordained a deacon for the Diocese of Dallas in 2006 and happily assigned to St. Thomas Aquinas Parish, where I have served since that time.
When I returned from Kazakhstan from adopting my son, I, of course, wanted to have him baptized, and the only person I could think of who would or should do it was Mr. Leyden.
I met Deacon Leyden in high school. I started at Bishop Lynch in 1998. And then when Alex and I got engaged, I asked him to marry us.
I got to know Ed throughout the marriage process. We went through a number of kind of premarital classes with him and meetings and got to know him and Barbara really well.
We did their marriage preparation, the wedding, their baptism preparation, and their baptism of their first child. It was delightful.
I think that is a special aspect of their relationship because it really is the two of them together. And when you're going into a marriage, when you're talking with someone that is married and got kids and has been married for 30 plus years, you really get the chance to see how a marriage works.
They're very faithful to each other. They're very loyal to each other.
She is, the perfect wife to the president of Bishop Lynch. An individual couldn't do that job if their spouse wasn't as supporting as Barbara was.
I dare say any success I've had, I owe primarily to the loving support of Barbara.
I am strictly eye candy.
Probably not many people know this, but my dad and my mom were Pac-Man junkies.
He's always the fun guy at, family gatherings. He's always the one making the jokes, and he's just the fun guy.
His responses to things are just, even in a serious situation, he can put you at ease because of how funny he is.
I remember one time we were practicing cross country, and he said, okay, everybody run to that post down there and come back. And I was naive and not thinking clearly. And I asked, which post? The first one or the second one? And to the chagrin of all of my teammates, he said, well, I was going to say the first one, but since you are not sure, go to the second one.
Something that people may not understand is Ed he loves to travel. And I think it adds to his personality that he's been all around the world.
Who doesn't know Ed Leyden? Whenever we're out to dinner with them or attending an event, people are always coming up to Ed.
It's amazing the number of names he has in his memory bank. We'll ask about someone from 10 years ago, from 5 days ago, or from 30 years ago. And Ed knows him, and he has a story to tell you about that person. Usually a funny story.
And not only about that person, but that person's immediate family, maybe some relatives of theirs.
I had a cousin that went here. Her name was Julie Totes. I think she graduated in 2013.
She's at A&M?
Yes.
Yep.
My grandpa, every time we got together, he would always throw me up in the air and catch me. And as I got older, I got taller and bigger, and eventually he got older, and it was a little tougher for him to throw me in the air, but he still found a way to do it until recently. And I think I'm okay with that. I think it's my turn to start throwing him in the air.
Receiving this award from the Catholic Foundation is very significant to me for a lot of reasons. Personally, of course, they've been most supportive of Bishop Lynch High School. So receiving this recognition from an organization that I so admire and whose purposes are so lofty is especially meaningful and especially rewarding to me.
For Ed to receive this award is kind of the culmination of his whole career and everything that he has stood for.
At the dedication to the Leyden Arts and Athletic Complex, we were walking through the building, and I was heading up the steps, and a man was coming down the steps who knows my family and my parents very well. And he said to me how proud he was of my dad, and mentioned that there are so many things that my dad had done for him and his family that I had no idea how much my dad had done. He was so grateful.
Now the rest of the community and a lot of other people will know exactly what we've known all along, that he is a man of faith and a man of honor and deserves recognition for his years of dedication to the Catholic community.
He is truly a great man.
I believe my grandpa is an inspiring man to not just his family, but his students and his friends.
I believe Ed Leyden is a servant of his students, a servant for the parents, and a servant of God.
I believe Mr. Leyden is a hero.
I believe my grandpa is amazing. I believe my grandpa is funny.
I believe Deacon Leyden is a gift from God.
And I believe Ed Leyden is a true friend to us, to many, and especially to God.
I believe my grandpa is the definition of a good role model. He's funny, he's obviously kind, compassionate. He goes out of his way to help people. And when he does help those people, he doesn't help them for their appreciation per se. He just does it out of the goodness of his heart. And that's why I'm proud of my grandfather.
There's a huge basilica at the University of Notre Dame. And etched into the side of one of the entrances are simply the words, God, country, and Notre Dame. And in using these words as part of a homily not too long ago, I believe in God, my family, and my ministry as a Catholic educator.